just like your mum's OnlyFans account, this build here is finished. What did you think? Tell me in the comments down below. I'm actually pleasantly surprised how nice this looks for an 80 quid case. There's so many stupidly expensive cases out there now, but this Antec C3 ARGB comes in at a good price point with surprisingly little compromise. I used a bunch of parts that I had laying around from an old editing workstation we used on the channel, and I chucked in a new Thermalright liquid cooler for good measure. The spec is up on screen right now. This is going to get you similar performance to an RTX 4070 Ti build, but with a lot more VRAM for crunching through renders. And that brings us on to the case. Now, I want to share my thoughts on the Antec C3 ARGB case, but I think we should take a detailed tour through the case to know how it's laid out, and that's going to inform a much better review. So the side panel here is just going to come off with a simple thumb screw, which comes off. It's not captive apparently, it just fell on the floor. One at the top, one at the bottom, and then you just slide it off and peel it out like that, like you would with any other side window panel, I suppose. The front piece of glass here, that's captive, that's not coming out, and there probably is a way to take it out, but to be honest, when you're putting your build together, there's absolutely no point taking this piece of glass out, so leave it in. Swiveling our way around to the back panel here, it's going to be the same thing. Thumb screws on the back, and I'll learn my lesson this time because they're not going to be captive, so one at the top, one at the bottom, and then open sesame, drag back, there you go, you're in your cable management chamber. And then just for completeness, we have the back of the case here, 120mm fan, cut out for your IO shield. Of course, you've got your PCIe slot covers here as well. You've got a standard power supply mount at the bottom, you know, pretty boring stuff. Exactly what you'd expect from any PC case. And let's transition to first person view now, so I can actually show you a bit more of the detail of the case to get a bit more of an idea about whether you want to buy it or not. All right folks, so I'm behind the camera now, but I can still show you what's going on. So we've got our bank of 3 fans here on the side. Those are reverse blade fans, which means they're going to push air into the case despite looking like they won't. We've got our front panel connections coming down here. We've also got a hub included, and we've got some nice cutouts. So let's go through each segment of this cable management section so that we can get a proper deep dive and know what's going on. Okay, and we'll tackle the side panel here straight away. So like we said, 3 fans, 120mm intake into the case despite looking backwards because they're reverse pitch fans. So you've got a few channels here, you can route cables through these, that's pretty handy, keeps things nice and neat. If we drop the camera down a bit, we can see that along the bottom here we've got a cutout for cables to go to a storage drive, and I'll show you the storage array when we go to the other side because it's kept on the other side. And here we are. In order to see the storage array, we actually have to flip the case back. So you're looking at the bottom of the case, we've got dust filter there. Reason being is you can actually mount a fan there instead if you really wanted to, though it's probably not needed. Then you've got these hex screws here. We'll undo those and then slide the drive cage out. There you go, so that hooks off. But in order to actually get the drive cage out now, you do have to stand the case back up and take it out through the presentation side of the case. And voila, there is our drive caddy. Now the drive caddy actually also pinches out like this and contains your screw box. So let's take that out. And we can just pinch that off, and that's where you're going to find all the fixings and fittings that you need for the case. So that'll just have things like hard drive screws, SSD screws, motherboard screws, you know, the standard kind of stuff that you get with most cases. So this caddy will easily take 2.5-inch drive just there. Easy peasy, and then you can also just slap a 3.5-inch drive in there as well, and there are holes on that side that you just screw in there. These are going to hold that hard drive in place if you want to do that, but to be honest, on most modern systems you don't really need these. On the actual shell of the drive sled, you could also put another 2.5-inch drive on the top there as well if you really did need that extra space, but as we'll come on to later, there is space for more 2.5-inch drives in the back end of the case. So let's put the drive cage back inside like that, and then we're going to put it back inside here, push in and slide over the top. I'm actually finding this implementation of the storage on the bottom here really bad. I think this is a really clumsy way to do it. But that said, if you are going to put a drive in there, you're probably only ever going to do it once and not have to take it out again. The alternative thing to do is just to take this hard drive piece out and leave it out. And while we're looking at the bottom, we'll also find that there's a dust cover over where the power supply goes. If you're interested, I'm not, I don't care. So next, let's check out the top row where our cables are going to go through. We've got one big gap here and one big gap here. Surprise, surprise. Standard layout, and sometimes being standard is actually a good thing, so that's fine by me. You've got cable tie down points along the top as well. That's going to help keep things nice and neat, although it's going to be a bit fiddly to get the cable ties round there. Moving down slightly, and in the center we actually have that hub for your fans, speed and RGB. And actually all the fans are already hooked up, which is pretty handy. It doesn't use any proprietary connectors, just standard 5-volt 3-pin ARGB with PWM fans, so that's pretty good. And then they terminate in SATA plug here, and then the standard motherboard plugs for PWM and 5-volt ARGB. So that's nice, nothing proprietary, it's all going to work nicely, and you can also control it via the LED button if your motherboard doesn't have the ability to do RGB, or if you just prefer to use a button. And then just to the left of these, we have our cable routing holes for the motherboard. So we've got a fat one here and a fat one here as well. No rubber grommets or anything. I don't really care about rubber grommets. I think they actually look uglier than just having the gap, so that's fine by me. So here we have two SSD sleds, and you just unscrew from here. It's not a thumb screw, so you will need to use a screwdriver to get that off. And it's just a little plate that comes off. You just hook up your SSD, here, here, and here, and here, and here, and then screw it back on, easy. Your SSD is obviously going to go on this side so that you can plug everything in. And it's got a little hook on the bottom, just pop it on, get all the cables from the hub out of the way, and just make sure it's nicely in place. Not the easiest, but to be honest, it doesn't matter because, like I said, you're going to do this once and you're going to set and forget it, so it doesn't matter. And for completeness, let's check out the bottom power supply mount. There's actually a decent amount of space in here, so you could put those really fat 1200 watt power supplies in there if you want, but it is going to be tight. Guys, if you're using this case, I would probably just use a standard width power supply that stops about here, and that's going to give you enough room to stuff excess cables in just here. Okay, so front I/O, get this out of the way. So we've got a power button here. We've also got an LED switching button as well for the included controller. We've got a combined headset jack here. We've got a single USB 3. We've got a single USB Type-C as well. So quite a modern minimalist layout, just standard on the top of the case. And let's just round out this section by highlighting the different front panel plugs that you've got. They're probably all going to be as expected. We have HD audio right here. Let's zoom in on that. There we go. We've also got our USB 3.0 for the front panel. We've also got the USB-C cord, and I quite like that this is quite a slimline one. That's pretty good. And then we've got our front panel connector buttons here. You know, power switch, we've got HDD LED. It's going to be really hard for the camera to pick those up. And power LED, etc, etc. For some people, they won't hook up the HDD and the power LED because sometimes it's just nice not to have that RGB on the top of the case. Up to you. I usually don't plug in the HDD LED because the blinking usually drives me nuts. Okay, so we're almost done. We just need to check out the sexy side of the case, the presentation chamber. Like I said, you know, 3 reverse pitch fans here. They're going to bring air into the case. We've got 1 fan on the back here. It's going to exhaust. And that's about it really. You know, you've got your ATX size cutouts here. You've got cutouts on the side that we mentioned earlier. And if we tilt forward a bit, you might just be able to see the cutouts in the bottom. We've got a couple back here for your front panel, and you've also got a nice one here for your graphics card cables as well. I do really like when they include that one in the bottom right here for those graphics card power cables. I think that's really helpful for getting a nice clean and tidy build. Overall, this chamber is looking pretty nice. We've got a design that's reminiscent of the Antec NV7, is it? NV5, one of those Antec cases anyway. The disappointing thing in this chamber is that it's nice to have fans pre-installed, but it's really not nice when the cables are managed so poorly like this. This just isn't acceptable to me, so I'm going to have to unplug these and then swoop them through the bottom so that this ugly bit doesn't show up the whole time. That's a bit disappointing. Now usually a tour will conclude in the gift shop, but I don't have a gift shop. What I've got is the top of the case for the final bit here. So you can fit 3 120mm, you can fit a 360mm liquid cooler, or you can put 2 140s or 280mm cooler, up to you. So that's the extra fans you can fit in the case, in addition to the 3 on the side, 1 on the back, and potentially an intake on the very, very bottom if you really wanted to. My channel is not a technical review channel. I'll never be as good as Gamers Nexus or Hardware Unboxed, but I do know people, and I know what people want. After selling hundreds of PCs over the years, it's a bit like buying a car. There are cars which are practical and make sense, but aren't that sexy, but then there are cars that are clearly too expensive, don't make sense, but there's something, just something about them that draws you in. This case is a bit more like the former. It has all the features of a nice looking case, it fits basically everything you want, but because it's a budget to mid-range focus case, it just lacks that little bit of premium finish and pizzazz that you might find on a Lianli or Phanteks equivalent. But don't let that take away from what is ostensibly a really cool case. I enjoy the aesthetic. It's a bit like a fish tank style case, but I've heard this particular style called an atrium case, and I like that word. It's very fancy. It's clearly a Phanteks NV5 copy, but that's fine by me. This style gives you an excellent view into the case, it shows off all your RGB, and unlike fish tank cases, the width of the case is reasonable, which is important if you have a smaller, bloody hell, a smaller desk setup. Well, that's the joys of filming outside, I guess. The glass panels are virtually seamless, which gives it an open and airy feel. It comes with 3 reverse pitch ARGB fans, and then 1 regular ARGB fan in the back. So taking all that into account, the value on offer here is, I would say, yeah, reasonable for 80 quid. Build process was about average. Mounting the motherboard, the liquid cooler and the graphics card was easy, as you'd expect. However, this style of case did mean that there was not much room for those bigger 1000 watt plus power supplies. And if you were to use custom sleeved extension cables, you might really struggle for space with the cable management. I'd strongly recommend to feed your graphics card cables up through the little hole on the bottom before sliding your power supply in for an easier fitment. Cable management was not the best, and that's because a big chunk of the back panel is used up with this bank of fans. It meant that I had to stuff a lot of cables down the centre channel, which made it a little bit difficult and untidy. I would have preferred them to ditch one of the SSD sleds and put the included hub a little bit further over. That said, you can make it all fit, and cable management is kind of a set it and forget it task for most people anyway, so I shouldn't take away too many marks for that. The build quality of the case is decent. It doesn't feel flimsy at all. It's nice and sturdy, though the materials aren't maybe quite as thick and premium as you might get with the expensive brands. It's definitely a lot better than other cases in this price range though, so that's a plus for sure. The included fans are kind of bog standard quality, but I'm pleased that they went with reverse blade on the side. It would have been easy for them just to mess this up or really cheap out with bog standard non-reverse fans. So closing thoughts then. This is an £80 case, so that slots into the mid-range, and there's not very much out there that achieves the same level of aesthetics, performance and compatibility. So I'd say that's a bit of a win. I wouldn't call this a bargain, but it's definitely good value, especially with those included fans. Antec has kind of stopped being the lame dad with socks and sandals, stopped being all clunky. They've taken on a cleaner design language. And you know what, guys, Antec, fair play. Not fair play to this window, it's really ruining my recording. The direct competitor to this is the Phanteks NV5, which is £20 more and doesn't come with any fans, though you might argue the NV5 does look a little bit fancier. Now this PC right here is for sale at PC36.co.uk at cost price, so it's a great deal for the right person. Sadly though, I could never actually use this case on my website again, because the box size is too big to regularly ship with DPD, or at least it looks like it. Bummer.